We have to do this backwards today because, see, what we're going to do is we're going to first color, and then we're going to do this fast. Okay, as fast as you can and as hard as you can because you want a good layer. Don't make it so intricate because guess what? We're going to cover it up with black paint. And then we're going to let those dry, and then we're going to do something else. But so I want your names on these though. Pass them down. 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 Pass them down.
It's flowing with paper.
And then we're going to watch the, I'm going to tell a story. Pass them down. Are we missing anyone?
Alright.
Alright. Put your name on first. Color like crazy.
Color like crazy.
Yeah, give it a nice coat. Because what we're going to do then is we're going to
Now you guys can feel like you're back in preschool.
Scratch it off.
Huh? Like
scratched off. Okay, we're going to talk about Paul. First, he was trained with the best Pharisees. He knew the Bible. He probably memorized almost the entire Bible at the time, which was the Old Testament. and he was on his way. He got papers, and he was on his way from Jerusalem to Damascus, which was at the north. It was a long way away. And he was walking. He had his gurus with him. And he had papers, and he was going to throw those Christians in jail. All of them were going to be thrown in jail, beaten, men, women, children, out. And he was going to take care of this Jesus movement. He was almost at Damascus, and a great light and a thundering sound, boom sound. This isn't quite the great light that I was looking for.
Why don't you turn off the light?
Well, now we'll just leave the lights on. And he's like, what in the world is that? He fell to the ground. And all the people with him fell to the ground too because they knew what was going on, and it was scary. And he said, Saul, why do you persecute me like this? And Saul's like, okay, this is big. Who are you? Because he really wanted to know. It wasn't like, I persecute because I want to. No, he really wanted to serve God. He just didn't know how. And Jesus said, I'm Jesus, the one you keep hurting all my people. And he's like, you get up and go into the town, and I'm going to tell you then what to do after that. So he gets up, and he couldn't see anything. He was blind. And he knew this was big. He knew that God was just about to show him something really big, right? So he laid on his bed, because back then they didn't have canes, and they didn't have...
You have sick layers.
Shh. Okay, Madison, that's enough. Stop.
And they didn't even have...
They didn't have canes. If you were blind, that was it. Okay, guys, I think you need to stop.
I'm done.
You guys are quite the spreader thinners. Okay, leave it there and let it dry. And listen. Listen
to Teacher Sherry.
All right, listen. With your ears, not with your mouth. All right. So he went in and he laid on the bed. Please. He laid on the bed and he didn't do anything except pray. All day, all night. He wouldn't eat anything. He wouldn't drink anything. Now, how long can you live without drinking anything?
A couple days.
About 3 days. He was on there 3 days. So he was really close to the point, probably, of death.
Of death.
Yeah.
Hallucination, at least.
And Ananias, God went and told Ananias. He said, Ananias, I want you to go lay hands on Paul and cure him. He's like, wait, isn't that the guy that was going to come kill us?
Paul. You said Paul.
Oh yeah, I did.
Saul.
It's almost Paul, but it's still Saul right now. Wasn't that the guy that was going to kill us? He's like, yep. He's going to pay for it. I'm going to take care of Paul. Saul, you go and do what I tell you to do. And so he did. He's like, sure, God. And so he goes in there. He goes into the house. Christian gone into a Jewish house at this point, and he lays his hands on Paul's eyes, and guess what?
Shingles fall from them.
Scales fall, and he can see. But do you know what?
What?
You think he go, okay, I'm cured, let me go eat and drink. So he's almost at the point of death. And before he eats and drinks anything, he's going to be a new man. He wants to be baptized with Jesus. So before and you can blow on these if you want. Before he eats and drinks anything, he wants to be baptized with Jesus. So that's what he does. He gets baptized first. Please get your head out of there.
Okay.
And he gets baptized, and then he goes and eats and drinks. Now, the first thing he does after that, guess what? He goes to the synagogue. And instead of telling them about Moses' law, starts telling about Jesus. That was a problem back then. And they get very mad at him because, you know what? Those 3 days praying, Jesus was giving him a download of how the scriptures correspond to who he is and what he did for the world. And remember, he knew the whole Old Testament. He knew all the scriptures. So Jesus was connecting all the dots for him. He goes in and many people believed in Jesus at that point. But people got mad. The ones that had hardened hearts and didn't want to listen. Nope, God is doing it the way I want it to. And I'm not joining him unless he does it the way I want him to. That didn't happen. So, guess what? They wanted to kill him. And so they waited outside the gate. Waited outside the gate because there was big walls in the city and people just couldn't just walk over those walls. So everyone had to go in and out of the gate. And so they waited outside the gate and they were going to kill him. Well, God has his ways. And his friends found out about this plan and they told him, and they chose to do something new. They chose to not go through the gate. They chose to lower him down in a basket.
Come down.
Here goes Paul. Kind of looks like Moses. Nope. And he lowered him down in a basket, and he got out.
Yeah.
Here. Thank you, Jesus, for making me safe.
Why does...
And he went away. And he went and he started preaching about Jesus to all the towns.
Because Paul had the 10 Commandments.
I'm a wall.
He did have the 10 Commandments. All right. Thank you.
I don't want to break.
All right. All right, guys. Now, your papers should almost be dry, especially if you're blowing them, and it was a very thin layer.
I just finished.
Yours is dry already.
And
Josh just finished.
yours is still working.
Finished coloring Josh.
Okay, well, Josh, you have to wait. All right, after it's dry, what you're going to do is scratch the layer off.
Ooh. Can you blow on that, Josh?
Something's happening.
It was dark and now it's light. I'm not going to make it look like a star.
You can make a picture.
It actually might be just as easy to do it when it's a little bit wet.
Yes, you will get very messy doing this.
And it's perfect. Good. Yours is perfect. That really did work. Get it thin like that. Oh, look at that.
I got all under my fingernail.
Yeah, that's okay. That's why we have water.
Ooh, look at that.